Today we are joined by Theo. I don't know. He ran up the stairs and now we're kind of stuck with him, but he's lovely and wonderful. His bed is over here. If he gets to be too much for you, just let me know and I'll move him off to the side. Everybody seemed like they wanted him up here. If you do not want him up here, I will boot him out though, if that is what you'd like. No, I not in a mean way, in a gentle, kind, and loving way. Out the window. Hi, Key. Poor baby. No. All right, so we are going to start with this idea, this overarching theme for our class today, which is all about transition. We are now deep into the heart of fall, autumn season, right? And the weather has shifted. We could have felt that this week, right? It got really, really nice, and then it was cold, and we had our jackets on and our sweatshirts on. And so our bodies are feeling the difference. Our mind is feeling the difference. We're starting to kind of grieve what was, looking forward to what's coming, right? So we're in this transition-y space, and this is especially true when we transition into fall or spring. So today we have the question. This is our reflection question. It also works as our overarching theme. You can jot this down in your journal. I'll tell you the whole thing first, then I'll slow it down. Bless you, Theo. What am I in the process of transitioning away from or towards right now? And what does that shift ask of me? So what am I in the process of transitioning away from or towards right now? And what does that shift ask of me? What am I in the process of? Transitioning away from or towards right now, and what does that shift ask of me? What am I in the process of transitioning away from or towards right now? And what does that shift ask of me? As you're jotting this down, we'll kind of just keep the vibration, the essence of the question in our mind. We're not going to attach really hard to answering it right now. We'll go through our practice today and see what comes up, what bubbles up, if anything at all. And then we'll start in a very comfortable seat. So if you like, maybe you're sitting up on your blanket, and then maybe you even take a block underneath each knee, which I find to be most comfortable. You may also feel better up on a couple of blankets. Come on, T. Lay down. He just wants you. And then let's talk about the seat for a moment. I feel like every time we come into a class, whether it be a business meeting, or coming into a yoga class, or whatever else, maybe we're going into a teaching class, and we think of sitting up nice and tall, and we come into like this overarched, almost like saluting the sun type of deal, where the chest comes out and the low back starts to compress. So for today, I'm going to try this, holding on to our rib cage. Maybe you just kind of move it around, become aware of the ribs. And then you can kind of picture these ribs as a lampshade. And that lamp is shining light down on top of the pelvis. And then once you kind of get it there, you'll notice that the spine almost has this very natural little bit of a cat posture to it, where it's just a little rounded. And then when you release the hands, you can feel almost the shift in the change between that constriction in the back body and now this lightness where we're able to breathe. The other thing you might notice is instead of this head being like super up and bright and out, you might even start to notice this chin just ever so slightly kind of tucks down. And this creates length through the back of the neck, the cervical spine. And then I feel in my body, and maybe you'll feel it in yours too, that you're able to breathe, find the expanse just a bit deeper, 365 degrees all around the rib cage, the belly, the back body. And then from here, softening the shoulders down. Maybe the eyes are starting to soften or close, and you're just dropping into the sound of my voice, your own breath, your own body. And then from this place, this easeful place, just starting to notice the body, noticing the seat, the legs on the earth, supported by the blocks if they're underneath you, or the blanket. Noticing the seat as it connects to whatever support is underneath you. And the spine as it runs long through the back body. And then you start to notice the belly, the flesh of the belly softening. And maybe you start to notice the chest. Maybe the right lung and the left lung. Maybe the front of the heart, the back of the heart. And starting to become aware of the shoulders and the arms, and the hands, and the fingers. Noticing the neck, the head, the back of the head, the entire face. Bringing awareness into the temples, the forehead, the jaw. Letting the tongue fall from the roof of the mouth, widen in the lower palate. I'm just taking a few deep breaths here just to notice what it feels like to be in your body in this moment. Throughout our class today, we will be moving our body, we'll be moving our breath, and at some point, we will come into stillness. Stillness is where the mind starts its chatter. We call it the monkey mind, the swaying, this jumping from branch to branch, or a butterfly, just kind of flitting from flower to flower. And that's totally natural and normal. But if the mind starts to wander away, we can gently return it back by noticing the body, noticing the breath, becoming very aware in the present moment. And for today's pranayama, which will help to bring your attention back to the breath, we'll do a 4-count breath. So if it feels better for you, just a little bit of tactile sensation, you might decide to place the hands at the belly. And then just start to notice the gentle rise and fall of your natural breath here. Deep into the belly. And then what we'll do from here is we'll take a nice big inhale and we'll count to 4, we'll pause, and then we'll exhale, count to 4, and pause. So inhaling, counting to 4, 3, 4, pause, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, pausing. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1, pausing, and exhaling, 3, 2, 1, pausing. Inhaling for a count of 4. Pausing at the height. Exhaling for a count of 4. Pausing. Inhale. Pause. And exhale. And pausing. Continue on your own count, just like this. Several more rounds of 4-count breath. Start to notice what it feels like to be full of breath and what it feels like to be empty of breath. And just notice. Two more rounds of 4-count breath, just like this. And after your 2 rounds, just return to your normal breath. And from this place of awareness, stack the palms one right on top of each other, right at the heart center. Keeping the eyes soft or closed here. We'll reflect on our question this morning. What am I in the process of transitioning away from or towards right now? And what does that shift ask of me? Let the reflection question just reverberate through the system, warmed by your hands right at the heart center. Maybe we'll allow it to fill every cell here, just vibrationally. Then, when you're ready, we're going to take a nice big inhale, exhale, H-A-ha. And one more. Beautiful. Let's bring the palms of the hands together and just really warm them up. Your own heat, your own energy. Just warming up those hands, getting them nice and toasty warm. Once they're nice and toasty warm, we'll cup the hands over the eyes, bathing the eyes in warmth. And then you'll blink the eyes open underneath the hands, letting light spill in between the fingers. And then release the palms down to the lap. And if you know, he's having fun. You can go ahead and release the legs out nice and long. You might find that you'd like to come off of your blanket at this point if it feels a little uncomfortable to have the legs extended. And from here, we're just going to swish those legs from left to right like windshield wipers. Good. And then you can start to slow that down and point and flex those feet. Snap, crackle, pop. Woo, right? My goodness. Good. And then we're going to open the toes and squish the toes. I visually represent with my fingers because I'm wearing socks. But you're going to squish and open up those toes nice and wide. Beautiful. And then take any kind of free flow that you need here. I know sometimes sitting for that long can cause little pins and needles. So we just want to get those all out of our system. Very, very nice. From here, we can go ahead and come back into a cross-legged seat. You're going to go ahead and hold on to that dominant leg, whatever leg is in front. Okay, and we're going to pick it up, and what we're going to do is maybe, just maybe, it's okay if it's a no, we celebrate no. We're going to find the edge of our foot, and we're going to place it in the crutch of our... I don't know what happened, but okay, right into the elbow here. And then we're going to wrap the opposite arm around that thigh. If that doesn't work, this is beautiful. And we're just going to rock this leg, kind of prepping and priming through. What did you say? All right. A little bit of gratitude for the leg here. This is all about the hip, right? We can kind of feel it if we loosey-goosey it up. Maybe stop holding as much tension in that leg. Let the arms take the tension. Let the arms take the weight. And then when you start to rock, you can feel it deep into that hip. Or not, it's okay. Either way. Theo, use a star. Good, we can start to lessen the rocking. Maybe we just let it run out of steam naturally. Good, and then we'll place that leg back down. We're gonna do the same thing opposite side. Whatever posture feels good, right? If this feels better to have it in the little crook of your arm and then wrapping around, or if this feels better. It's your body, you know what's going to work for you. There is no wrong way to do it. Not at all. If it hurts, then we back off, right? Yeah, that's all. And if we're like, oh, this is an interesting sensation, then we stay and play. That's it. So from here, maybe you experiment with letting that leg get really heavy, right? Let it get heavy. Let your arms take all the weight, and then start rocking it with your arms. That's it. Use your friend. Keep you company the whole time. And warm, yes. Good, beautiful. Fantastic. As we're here, we're going to start to let this naturally run out of steam, like a top running out of energy. Good, beautiful. Then we're going to place the feet down onto the mat. Couple options here. It may feel better to keep the feet pressed together, right? The bottoms of the feet, or maybe you're experimenting with opening the feet up like a book. All right, and then from here you can go ahead and just give a little bit of a wiggle. You remember this from gym class, middle school era. We're butterflies. And we're flapping our wings. And this is just to release some tension through the hips, right? Anytime we're being asked to move our hips. Good, and you can start to soften that there. All right, couple of options. You can stay flittering those butterfly wings. We love it, it's gorgeous. If you like, we're starting to open up through the feet here. And this might be it. This might be the beautiful posture that you are in today. And you are here and you're nice and tall, finding that natural spot where the ribs are on top of that pelvis, right? So you're still able to breathe. This might be it. And you might be here just acknowledging and noticing every sensation in the body with the breath. If you know you want a bit more of a deeper sensation, option is lengthen through that spine and then start to bring the heart down into the feet. If that doesn't feel good and you want to put the hands out like little stilts and kind of rock here, you could do that too. You can also let the chin start to hang towards the chest. Lots of options here. You approach it from whatever feels right. A little jealous of Rebecca and Fifi right now. I'm a cat person. Sure, he says. Let me convert you today.
He's changing your mind. He says, you've had a year of yoga, so...
Yes! Exactly.
Now this, it's the next level.
Can I take a picture, Rebecca? No! No! What are you doing? Can I take a picture?
There will be evidence.
Aww. Oh. That's it. I'm done now. Aw. Beautiful. And isn't it nice when we're being asked to drop into these postures that we can find a little bit of light, a little bit of playfulness, right? Especially when we're working deep into the hips like this. So thank you, Theo. Thank you. You can lay down though. That'd be good. This does not have to be your biggest stretch. We're just getting warmed up. Good. And for those of you who are just moving and swaying, sometimes that's a really nice way to just prime the body without holding on. Even just the thought, oh, I have to get my heart all the way down into my feet. We can let that thought go. We can just experience the posture however it feels right to us. Good. And then when you're ready, maybe you take the fingertips and you press them into the earth and you take a nice big inhale and slowly come all the way back up. You are not going to crash over here, my boy. Nope. Good. From here, we'll go ahead and bring the feet up. I'm going to just adjust myself. I look like these guys now. Okay. And we are going to take the feet out as wide as the mat. You might find that you'd like to place your hands kind of behind you as a little support. The wider the feet are, I feel like there is a nice release in the hips here. So I like to take them out almost off the mat. And then we're just going to start to windshield wipe these knees in towards the center. And it's okay if you bump your neighbor. We're all friends here. I used to say you get a cookie if you bump your neighbor, but now I just give out all the muffins and cookies for free. So it's just an added bonus to give a bump. Beautiful. So now as you're here, you might find that you want to go ahead and just lift up this opposite hand. Maybe you give a tap to that thigh. Knock over stuff. It's okay. We don't worry about it. Good. This can be slow too. And then maybe you start to tap behind you with that opposite hand. Yeah, little twist. So you come all the way over and you give a tap onto the ground. Or to Theo, if he's by you. Now you might find that this starts to feel mighty good and you want to spend a bit more time all the way over in this gentle twist. Maybe the hands come down, maybe you even stack for your head, or not, That's okay. Just move in a way that feels right for you. And then as you're here kind of diving into this, you're starting to notice what feels right in your body. And you may decide to hang out there for a moment, just a couple of breaths. And then when you're ready, we'll start to make our way all the way back up to center. And just mindful of the wall behind you. We're going to come all the way down to our backs. Everybody has a block handy. So for this, we're setting up for a bridge posture. So the palms of the feet will come to the mat, and then we'll walk the heels in towards the sitting bones. You may come to find that you can brush the back of the heels with your index or middle fingers. And then what we're going to do here is we're just going to take a little inhale. Yeah, you're down now. The dog's definitely going to check you out. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take a little inhale and just ever so slightly micro lift the hips up. Just a nice big inhale here. Just ever so slightly lift the hips and exhale, lower them down. We're going to inhale up just a little lift here, not your biggest lift, and then exhale the hips down. Good. A few more times just like this, just a little lift. Move with the breath, inhaling up and then exhaling down. Good. One more time, just like this, little lift and then exhale. Good. From here, we're going to take our block and we're going to place it between our knees. I know, it's with the thinner side, not the long way, because that would be a lot of width. So we want it on the thinner side, and you're just gonna, like a book, it's gonna be between the knees. And you're gonna hold enough pressure so that block really stays in place. And then what you're gonna do is lift up on your inhale, lift the hips up, and then exhale down. Good. Keep moving with the breath. And you can inhale and lift the hips up. Maybe they're starting to lift a bit higher here. And it's just this real nice amount of pressure on that block, holding that block in place. And what you'll notice is once those legs are holding that block and you're lifting the hips up, there's a little bit of tension that starts to happen on the sides of the body through the hips. Good. On your next inhale, you're lifting up the hips. You're going to hold them here for a couple of breaths. Good. Big inhale, and then exhale. Start to lower the hips all the way down. Very good. Go ahead and remove the block. Nice. You might need to adjust what you need to adjust. And then we're going to take a nice big inhale. Start to lift those hips up. Continue to kind of pull the thighs towards each other. What you'll start to notice here is that we are now able to have a little bit more space in the shoulders to start to roll the shoulders underneath our back. So they're kind of rolling the shoulders together, and you're creating this little bit of lift here. Maybe the hands come to hold on to each other, interlacing the fingers underneath the hips. Hi, Theo. Nice big inhale here. And exhaling. Good. When you're ready, you're going to inhale. Go ahead and release the shoulders away from each other, unclasp the hands, and then exhale. Slowly bring the hips all the way down to the mat. Really, really good. Ooh, that was a big one. Very good. From here, we have our block. We're going to take a nice big inhale in. Go ahead and lift the hips up. We're going to slide the block underneath our hips at its lowest level, closer to the tailbone than you might think. Good. And from here, you may find that you'd like to take the palms of the feet together. The knees are going to fall wide. I know. And just taking a few deep breaths here. The pelvis is nice and open. This is a big sciatic stretch here. If this is ever too much, you can come down, maybe come up onto a blanket. Releasing the jaw. Softening the face. Good. When it feels right in your body, you may decide that you'd like to take the palms of the feet to the floor and then walk the feet away from each other to the outer edge of the mat, and then the knees are going to come together like you're creating a giant pyramid with your shins. And this closes the pelvis. This is a different sensation. And just check out what the jaw is doing, what the teeth are doing. Are you clenching? Are you holding on? And if you are, that could be your body just saying, ooh, this is a bit too much. Can we please back off? Listen to your body. Beautiful. You may choose to stay here and just let this restorative posture work its magic, or you may choose to take both feet to the floor about hips width distance. Maybe the left leg goes long on the mat. Maybe you bend the left knee and then you bring the right leg out long. And then maybe both legs go long. Only if that feels right. You know what you need today. You know how much sensation you are up for today. Good. You may choose to stay here for several more breaths, or maybe you bend both knees, bring the feet back to the floor, and then maybe you lift up one leg towards the sky. Maybe you roll the ankle here, wiggle the toes. Good. Maybe you bring that foot down and then you lift up the opposite leg. Isn't it amazing how much sensation we can find just by lifting a leg and moving that ankle? I don't know about you, but I can feel it all the way through the back of my leg here. Just notice what you notice. Good. And then maybe you bring both legs up tall. Or not. Good. And I love how we're still moving those feet, moving that ankle, wiggling through the toes, releasing tension and stress. We're not holding on to anything here. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, we'll come down 1 foot at a time, placing it back on the mat. Good. Let's go ahead and just walk the feet in just a little bit towards the hands, the sacrum, sit bones. You may choose to stay here. This is beautiful. If this is enough for you today and you're like, yes, this is my sweet spot, let's have a resounding yes. If you're going a bit further, we're going to inhale and lift up those hips, flip the block onto level 2. Yeah, so it'll go to level 2. Yep, beautiful. That's it. If there's any pinching in the low back, move the block, lift the hips and move the block down just a bit closer to the tailbone. Several rounds of breath here. You may decide to come back to our 4 count breath. This is the stillness that I was talking about earlier, when the mind starts to kind of run around. So the invitation here is to just find yourself very aware of your body, very aware of your breath. If you want to take this a step further for more sensation, you'll walk the feet in and lift the hips up and flip the block onto level 3. Only if that feels right for you here. I like to put my shoulders, kind of take the shoulders underneath me. A lot of options, staying at level 2 or level 1 or all the way to the ground. And then finding the breath. Notice the jaw, notice the face. And then soften what you can. If you're all the way up onto level 3, we're going to take a nice big inhale, lift the hips up just enough to move the block to level 2. Few breaths here. Good. And if you're on level 2, we're going to take an inhale, lift the hips up just enough to flip the block to level 1. By now, if those shoulders were rolled underneath us, you may decide to unroll them and just kind of let the back take the mat nice and wide in the upper back. And if you are on level 1, you're going to take a nice big inhale, lift the hips up just enough to remove the block. On your exhale, you're going to come down vertebrae by vertebrae. Big release here. Very, very nice. You may find that you like to bring the knees into the chest here and just rock from left to right. Beautiful. From here, maybe you make sure that your block is handy. We're going to take an inhale and then let those knees fall to the left. You may tap your neighbor. You can take the block between the thighs if that feels a bit more restorative to you here. You may take your left hand and place it on the right thigh and start to kind of bring that right thigh towards the earth, just for more sensation. If you want less sensation, you're not going to press on that thigh at all. Maybe the gaze is going to come over towards that right shoulder. Two big breaths here. Thinking about transitions in this moment. What am I in the process of transitioning away from or towards right now? And what does that shift ask of me? When you're ready, we'll place the head back at neutral, gazing up at the sky. And then a big inhale will bring the knees back into the chest. You can rock them out here. You can remove the block or keep the block where it is. No big deal. Maybe you roll through the ankles, wiggle the toes. Really, really good. And then when you're ready, we'll take a nice big inhale here and exhale. Let the knees fall towards the right. You can place that block back between the thighs if that felt good. And then maybe that right hand is going to come to the left thigh now and just kind of add a little bit of pressure here, sending that left thigh into the right. Then maybe on your inhale, you'll take a nice big breath in and then exhale, just rotate to look over that left shoulder. A few deep breaths here. Big inhale to send the head back to neutral. And then another inhale brings the knees back on top of the hips. Go ahead and release the block. We'll come into our happy baby. Couple options here. You may find that you want a more restorative happy baby by placing the hands on the back of the thighs and then bringing the knees nice and wide. This can feel really good. And just kind of go floppy, loosey-goosey with the feet, with the shins. Yeah. Or if you want, you can come into your full expression of happy baby, whatever you need today. Really ask yourself that question as you're moving through your practice. Beautiful. When you're ready, we'll bring the knees together. Let the legs come out long on the mat. If that doesn't feel good in your low back, just keep at least one knee bent. We're going to bring the right knee into our chest. Good. And just rock that right knee. Maybe you wiggle through the feet. Good. And then maybe you start to come into stillness and start to bring that right knee more into that underarm of the right side. And just take a couple of breaths here. You can still rotate through the ankle if that feels good. Softening the face. Good. Big inhale here. Big exhale. Good. Let's go ahead and bring that right leg out long. We'll take the left knee into the chest. And get real floppy, loosey-goosey here, rotating it, rocking it, flopping it around. Good. Maybe roll through the ankle. Beautiful. And then when you're ready to come into some stillness here, we'll start to bring that left knee underneath the left arm. Just kind of angle it towards there. It's never going to get underneath there. And then we can rotate through that ankle, wiggle the toes if that feels like it's calming and soothing to you. Or just drop right into stillness, whatever you need. Big inhale here, big exhale. Good. We'll start to bring that left foot down to the floor. We'll take the right ankle over that left knee. Now you can just swish here, just kind of swish the hips out. If you want, you can place the right hand on the right thigh and start to send that thigh away from you. We're in a figure 4 posture. If you need more, you can lift that left foot off the mat and then go ahead and hold on to either the back of the left thigh or the front of the left shin. And then you can just rock from left to right. Or come into stillness, whatever serves you. Few big breaths here. Good. Check in with the jaw, check in with the face. Are you holding on? Just notice. And when you're ready, we're going to plant that left foot back onto the mat. And we're going to come into a twist here. Just go ahead and drop that right foot all the way over to the left. A little bit different. You can come into your twist with the block in between your knees if that feels better. Then maybe if you want to feel something a little different today, you're going to reach down to hold on to the left toes with the right hand. And pull that cat, they call it pulling the cat tail. The left hand or the right? The right hand's going to come down for the left foot. Sorry, I said that wrong.
Doing the wrong foot.
That's all right. That would be like a koala bear. No biggie. Good. Big inhale here. And exhaling. Go ahead and release. We'll take a nice big inhale. Bring the foot back to the mat. Good. You can rock it out here. Couple passes. Beautiful. And then we'll take that right foot down to the mat and switch it out. Left foot will come on top of that right knee. Maybe you just rock here, swishing those hips. This might be enough. That can be a lot of sensation. Good. And then you can take any variation that feels good to you here. Maybe you're pressing that left thigh away from you. Maybe you're bringing the hands behind that right thigh. Or in front of that right shin. Maybe you're coming into stillness. Maybe you're rocking. Maybe you're wiggling the feet, rotating through the ankles. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, we're going to bring that right foot back to the mat, and then maybe the left foot comes all the way over. You rotate the hips so you're in like this little twist. You could cross the legs too, yeah, that's fine. And then maybe that left hand reaches under and holds on to the right toes. And we're just taking a few deep breaths here in this twist. For more sensation, you can always take that right hand to the left thigh and start to lead it down towards the earth. It's a big stretch though. Just know what you need. Beautiful. When you're ready, you can release that left foot. We'll take a nice, or right foot. You take a nice big inhale, come all the way back up. Go ahead and bring both feet to the floor. We're going to take the feet as wide as the mat, and then we're going to windshield wipe those legs from left to right. Just releasing any tension. This can be as slow or as quick as you need it to be. Beautiful. From here, I invite you to take any posture that you feel like you need. So maybe that's bringing both feet up in waterfall pose. Maybe that is bringing the palms of the feet together, the knees coming out wide. Maybe it's bringing the palms of the feet to the mat and then the knees come into touch. Maybe it's coming into plow pose if that's in your practice. Maybe you find a happy baby if that feels good for you right now. I invite you to find whatever your body needs. What am I in the process of transitioning away from or towards right now? And what does that shift ask of me? We become aware of this with our body, with our breath. What do you need right now? Is it movement? Is it stillness? And then when you're ready, we'll find ourselves Bringing our palms of our feet all the way to the floor. And from here, go ahead and just scooch the entire spine all the way over to the left of the mat. You're just going to pick up your hips, move them, pick up your shoulders, move them. And then we're just going to roll onto our right side. Little fetal position here. Let the right arm be a pillow for the head. And then when it feels right, we're going to press the hands into the earth and slowly, slowly come all the way up to a gentle seat. We're going to end class today with our legs up the wall. So keep your strap handy and keep your bolster handy and your blanket. You may decide that you'd like the bolster underneath your hips for a little added lift. So we'll clear the space behind us. Delia, do you mind if I use you as a model? You're gonna bring you're gonna bring one hip to the wall. Beautiful. Just like Delia, who's modeling it so beautifully for me here. And you can take your Shavasana any way you like. So this is just an option. And then she's gonna swing her head down, yep, and swing and lift her legs up. From here, she may decide that she likes to take her bolster and press her heels into the wall, lift her hips up, and then take that bolster underneath her hips. That might feel really nice. Another option she may decide is to take the strap around her thighs and create a little belt out of it. I don't know where your strap went though.
This. My modeling days are over.
Yeah, that's it. No, you're gorgeous. Thank you so much.
Did I bury it?
I don't know. Maybe...
Oh, here.
Oh, okay, perfect. Well, you know what to do. She's going to take it around her thighs. And what this does is it allows you to completely release into the wall. So she'll take it around her thighs. She's going to run the strap through both of the rings and then back through only the first ring to make a little belt. I can help you too. Out of her. And then from here, you can let the feet come a little wider than the hips if that feels good. So from here, we are dropping in. Shavasana is the mini death. Becoming the observer of the body and of the breath, observing the thoughts, and taking up as much space as you like. Just letting the body completely relax into the support of the wall, into the support of the earth. Allowing this time to absorb the practice that we went through today. Know that you're safe here. And when it's time, I'll call you back. fingers, toes, rocking through wrists and ankles. Maybe you rock the head from left to right. Maybe the arms come overhead and you stretch like a child waking from their nap. I like to come out of this by undoing the strap first and just letting it fall where it may. And then if you're up on a bolster, you can press the feet into the wall and lift the hips up and release that bolster out from underneath you first. And then come all the way down. And then bring the knees into the chest and we'll roll on to the left side of fetal position. Just take a moment here to feel the transition of arriving at the studio today, beginning practice by noticing our breath, moving through our practice, coming to our Shavasana, and now the transition of arriving back on the mat, ready to, maybe we are going to meditate on our reflection question, or maybe we're going to jot down whatever comes up in our journal, or even draw or scribble scrabble. Just another transition. Nice deep breath here. Big exhale. When you're ready, you do not have to be ready right away. You can press the hands into the earth and slowly start to come all the way up. If you are meditating on your reflection question, once again, that question is, what am I in the process of transitioning away from or towards right now? And what does that shift ask of me? Several minutes, quiet meditation, reflection time. attention back on the present moment. Jotting down the last few thoughts. Know that you can return to this space, this question, this journal entry at any time. Placing the hands at heart center. Taking a moment here for gratitude. Gratitude for this practice. Gratitude for yourself for showing up to the mat today. For being an active participant in your wellness journey. Gratitude for someone who supported you in your wellness journey today. Gratitude for all the beauty that surrounds us each and every day, with a special thanks to our very own Lake Huntington. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart, each and every one of you, for being part of this absolutely gorgeous community, for trusting me to guide you through your practice. Om Shanti, Om Peace, and we bow. Thank you.